A lot of people use the terms dog trainer and canine behaviourist interchangeably, but the reality is they're not the same job. In this video, I'll break down the real difference between the two, why it matters for your career, and which path is right for you. Now, before we dive into which one is right for you, let's explain the difference between the two roles. And for me, we can simplify it right down to that dog trainers teach new behaviours, canine behaviourists alter existing behaviours. Now, naturally, there's always going to be a crossover between the two in the real world, working with real clients and real cases. Even if you're working with brand new puppies, there are going to be some behaviours that puppy's doing, like biting, chewing, destroying things, that are going to be behaviours that you want to alter, and there's going to be lots of behaviours that you're going to want to teach. Now, as you get more towards older dogs, the reality is that most clients are going to want help altering behaviors, but as a part of creating success, yes, you're going to alter and change or remove negative behaviors, but oftentimes you want to replace them with new positive behaviors. So there is always usually a crossover of the two, but it's important that you understand those differences first. Where it starts to get more interesting is in the more advanced levels. Now, many trainers can reach advanced levels in terms of teaching insane levels of obedience, especially in competition type scenarios. That's where trainers are going to really thrive and be able to achieve extreme levels of success. Behaviourists really start to forge down their path in advanced levels where they start to really deeply understand the psychology behind canine behaviour, how canines behave, why they behave, and the underlying levels of things like emotion and motivation, and how that relationship between the dog's physiological states all lead to the behaviours that we're seeing, and how we can utilise all of those things to alter or change certain behaviours. Because you can have a dog that displays amazing levels of obedience but is deeply unstable, or you can have a very stable dog that has absolutely no obedience. And again, that's another really interesting dynamic between behaviour and training. Now, another interesting way that we can look at this kind of debate and two sides of this coin is that training often refers to and focuses on what to do, and behaviour, or becoming a behaviourist, focuses on why that thing's happening in the first place. And in my experience, I have found that many people are just naturally drawn to one over the other. Some people really enjoy getting the dog to do something and shaping new behaviours. Some people are more naturally drawn to why dogs behave in a certain way, and especially when that comes to behaviour problems. Now, it's no secret, I am a clinical canine behaviourist. I have a master's degree in clinical animal behaviour. I am incredibly drawn to behaviour, why dogs behave the way they behave, and how we can utilise that information to set us up for success. I have a good understanding of training because it is a required part of my role to help the clients that I work with have success. But it's not the thing that fires me up every day. The thing that fires me up every day is doing deep levels of diagnostic assessment on problem behaviours, understanding where they came from and what needs to be changed to remove those problem behaviours to set the dog up for success. If that then requires some training, it's important that I have the level of skill, knowledge and experience to implement that training plan as a part of my behaviour modification systems. However, some people don't want to worry about all the behaviour stuff and would rather just focus on the training plan and the obedience that's required. As I'm talking this through, I'm hoping that it will be resonating with you exactly which one of those pathways might more naturally attract you, which as we move forward with this video will help us align on which path you should start to take. Now, before we look at what the best canine professionals are doing utilising the information that we're talking about in this video, if you want to have that amazing foundation of both behaviour and training, that is exactly why I created my advanced diploma in canine behaviour and training. So if you're interested in learning more about what that advanced diploma involves and how it could be absolutely revolutionary to you, your practice and your career, there'll be a link in the description box below with a special discount that you can go and check out right now. But let's take a minute to look then at what the best canine professionals in the world are doing. And what I have found is that they start off focusing on one path or the other. Many people are drawn to behavior, many people are drawn to training and obedience. The reality in this day and age, though, is that the most successful professionals in the world are the professionals that have their passion baked into one side of the equation or the other, and then they make sure that they have equal levels of experience, knowledge, and understanding in the other side of the equation to make sure that they're able to offer the high quality service that they want to offer their clients. Now, we can take this a step further. What I tend to find is that the people that have the real passion and enjoyment for the training side of the equation have huge amounts of success when it comes to working with puppies, helping people get it right first time round, and then helping people move into more advanced fields of training, whether that is in competition or sporting environments. But to be able to achieve the level of success that is possible and expected this day and age, you have to have a good, comprehensive understanding of behavior to facilitate the high level of skill that is required in achieving high levels of success in obedience. Exactly the same thing can be said on the other side of the equation. The people like myself that are drawn to behavior, love going deep on the diagnostic of the behavior, really enjoy behavior modification work. But again, in this day and age, if you want to be able to have success, to be able to have long-term success, not only do we need to remove unwanted behaviors, but we have to replace them with the wanted, desirable behaviors. And to do so requires a good level of training. So people like myself tend to be drawn more to behavior modification, working with dogs that are displaying lots of problem behaviors. That really fires us up, gets us up in the morning, are the cases that we most look forward to. But we utilize all of the information from the training side of the equation to facilitate long-term success. So regardless of which path you feel yourself being drawn to, I think it's really important that you remember that it's okay to walk down that path. It's okay to be open and honest about the path that you enjoy most, but it doesn't mean that you should disregard the other. Many people don't want to work with extreme behavior cases, and that's absolutely fine. You just want to focus on helping sweet puppies and helping people get it right. The world needs more of those practitioners. If more people did that, then there wouldn't be so many dogs in shelters or on euthanasia tables. It's an incredibly important role for professionals to fill. But to do it properly, you have to understand why dogs behave certain ways, how puppies develop and grow and turn into adult dogs, how adolescence impacts training, how it impacts behavior. Because you might be able to get those puppies to do lots of tricks in those first few months, but what happens when that adolescence phase kicks in? What happens when reactivity starts to kick in? If you don't understand why that happens, where that comes from, and then how to navigate your training programs accordingly, you will be ending up with disappointed clients. Likewise, if you only focus on the diagnostics of behavior, clients might come to you as a behaviourist. You can tell them exactly why their dog is behaving the way they're behaving. But if you then don't have the ability to give them the skill to not just remove that behavior, but to teach desirable behaviors instead, again, you're going to be left with unhappy, unsatisfied clients. And the beauty of the internet is that it's showing people all over the world that there are better options out there. You can't cruise through a career in the canine industry anymore just doing basic behavior diagnostics or just doing basic pieces of obedience, because people understand that in the real world with real dogs, there's a combination of both that is always going to be required, and it's your job as a canine professional to be comfortable in what it is that you enjoy more than the other. But when you go from dog trainer to professional dog trainer or behaviourist to professional behaviourist, that means that you are charging somebody for that service. Therefore, you have a responsibility to offer them a very high quality service and have happy, satisfied clients. So make sure that although you have your passion rooted in one side or the other, you're not neglecting the other side, that you teach yourself the skill and the knowledge that is required, and you build an incredible network of other people that work on both sides of the equation as well, and everybody can rise together. Again, if you want to be able to have that amazing fundamental understanding of both worlds, that is why we created our advanced diploma. There'll be a link in the description box below. But I hope that quick video gave you a good understanding of the difference between trainers and behaviorists, and hopefully helped you understand which one you'd more like to fit into, but just as importantly, that the reality is that you're going to need a good foundation in both.